Close your eyes, take a deep breath, and let the world around you fade. Together, we will journey to a realm where myths come alive and mysteries whisper their secrets. This is your moment to pause, to wonder, and to escape. This is the story of Persephone and the descent into the underworld. Long ago, when the gods still walked among mortals, the earth was a paradise of endless growth and abundance. At the heart of this bountiful world was Demeter, the goddess of harvest and fertility. With each step she took, golden fields of wheat swayed, trees bent heavy with fruit, and flowers burst into bloom. She was beloved by all, but her greatest joy was her daughter, Persephone, whose beauty rivaled the dawn. Demeter was fiercely protective of Persephone, shielding her from the gaze of the gods. But one had watched her from afar: the powerful and enigmatic Hades, lord of the underworld. He had ruled the realm of the dead in solitude for eons, and his heart, once untouched by love, now burned with longing for Persephone. One day, as Persephone roamed the meadows with her companions, she wandered further than usual, drawn by the intoxicating scent of an otherworldly flower. As she reached out to pluck it, the earth trembled violently. A jagged chasm split open, and from its shadowy depths emerged a chariot of black iron, pulled by 4 obsidian horses with eyes like glowing embers. In its seat sat Hades, cloaked in darkness. Before Persephone could scream, his strong hands grasped her waist, lifting her into the chariot. The horses reared, hooves striking the sky, and in a thunderous rush, they descended into the earth. The chasm sealed behind them, leaving no trace of her abduction. The grief of Demeter. Demeter sensed it immediately: an emptiness, a hollow in her heart where Persephone's light had once been. She called her name. Persephone! But only the wind answered. Desperation overtook her, and she began a frantic search across the land. Her once glowing presence, now heavy with sorrow. For 9 days and nights, she wandered, forsaking food and rest. She questioned every nymph, every river, and every whispering breeze, but no one had seen her daughter's fate. It was only on the 10th day that Helios, the all-seeing sun god, took pity on her. I have seen what you seek. It was Hades who took her, with Zeus's silent blessing. Demeter's anguish turned to fury. She stormed to Olympus, her voice shaking the heavens. Return my daughter to me, or I shall curse the earth. No seed shall sprout, no tree shall bear fruit, and mankind will wither. Zeus, though the king of the gods, hesitated. The balance of life and death was delicate, and Hades would not surrender his new queen easily. But Demeter was relentless. In her grief, she abandoned her duties, and the land grew barren. Crops shriveled, rivers ran dry, and famine took hold of the mortal world. Seeing that humanity would perish, Zeus relented. He sent Hermes, the swift messenger, to the underworld to bargain with Hades. The choice of Persephone. Deep in the underworld, Persephone sat in a throne of onyx, draped in silks as dark as the midnight sky. The realm of the dead was not as she imagined. It was not fire and torment, but a vast and quiet kingdom, filled with souls who whispered their stories in the dim glow of the Underworld's pale gardens. Though she longed for her mother and the sunlit fields, she began to see another side of Hades. He was not cruel, nor was he the monstrous figure whispered about in myth. He was lonely, a ruler burdened with unchanging fate. He had given her freedom within his domain, treated her not as a prisoner, but as an equal. When Hermes arrived, Persephone's heart swayed. She wished to return to her mother, yet something in her had changed. But then came the fateful moment. A servant of Hades brought forth a pomegranate, its ruby-red seeds glistening like drops of blood. Knowing the laws of the underworld, Persephone hesitated, but the hunger gnawed at her. She took a bite. 6 whole seeds were swallowed before she realized the weight of her choice. Hermes paled. "You have eaten the food of the underworld," he murmured. "You are bound to it." Hades, who had watched in silence, finally spoke. "I will not keep you against your will, but you now belong to both worlds." The cycle of the seasons. Zeus, upon hearing Persephone's fate, forged a compromise. For each seed she had eaten, Persephone would spend a month in the underworld as Hades' queen. The rest of the year, she would return to Demeter, bringing life to the world. And so it was that Persephone ascended each spring. Demeter's joy awakened the land. Flowers blossomed, trees bore fruit, and warmth returned. But when Persephone returned to Hades in the autumn, Demeter mourned, and winter's chill crept across the land. Thus, the seasons came to be, a cycle of life, death, and rebirth, forever tied to the love of a mother and daughter, and the bittersweet pull of 2 worlds. The myth of Persephone and Demeter is one of love, loss, and transformation. It explains the natural cycle of the seasons, but also speaks to the deeper themes of personal growth, of finding balance between light and darkness, and the inevitability of change. Persephone, once an innocent maiden, became both a daughter of spring and a queen of the underworld. Her story reminds us that even in darkness, we can find strength, and that every ending also has a beginning. As the whispers of myth fade into the stillness, carry their magic with you into the world. Until we meet again, let your spirit wander, and may your days be filled with wonder. Thank you for listening to Whispering Myths. If you enjoyed this story and want to hear more, be sure to subscribe to Whispering Myths. That way, you won't miss out on any of the magical tales that I share. Don't forget to like this video and leave a comment. Thank you for listening, and until we meet again, may the whispers of myths guide your dreams.